Hey, how's it going, everybody? Matt Modi here with OddsJam, here to give you a betting preview for the college football playoff game between TCU and Michigan. We got the Horned Frogs versus the Wolverines. So obviously, Michigan being undefeated, having an incredible season, beating Ohio State for the second year. Finally, gets in the playoffs for the second straight year as well, but this time is the heavy favorite. Last year, they played Georgia in the first round of the playoffs, got smoked. This year, they are projected to do the smoking. What do the odds say? What does the math say? Well, we can get into it. So, of course, I pulled up all of this stuff using OddsJam. It's completely free to line shop, so everything you see me do on this video here, completely free. And I mentioned it, but no surprise here, Michigan, heavy favorites. The best moneyline odds you can get on them are minus 325, but these are on BetOnline. So BetOnline is one of the books that we, as a sharp book, I should say, that we use to set markets. So the best non-BetOnline line, it looks like minus 330 on DraftKings and FanDuel. Not going to recommend any moneyline play here. In terms of TCU, best moneyline odds you can get are also on DraftKings at plus 275. Not really that big of an outlier, so not even from a mathematical perspective would it be that good of a play. BetMGM also has 275. Then we see BetOnline and Pinnacle. Pinnacle is the sharpest sportsbook in the world, like 4 to 5 cents lower. So nothing really doing here. In terms of the point spread is where things get a little more interesting. We see that Pinnacle prices this at about minus 9.5. We see BetOnline price it at 9. And we can get this on FanDuel at minus 8.5 at minus 112 odds. So a little bit juiced towards the Michigan side, but still a really good price here. So my favorite bet for this entire game, I'm actually riding with Michigan minus 8.5 at minus 112 odds. TCU, props to them for coming back. It seems like every game they get down and they come back. They couldn't quite pull it out against Kansas State, just an insane double stuffed at the 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. The quarterback, props to him, Max Duggan, just a complete gamer. Looked like he was going to puke on the field against Kansas State, but brought that team all the way back. I just think they're going to be completely outclassed by Michigan. Michigan, obviously they had a little bit of a clunker a couple weeks ago, barely won on a last-second field goal. But the games that they've needed to show up, Ohio State, Purdue, they smashed them. So I think that, unfortunately, this looks to be a smashing as well. I will say, not that necessarily this is representative of what's going to happen this year, but if you remember what happened last year, both of the top 2 seeds in the college football playoffs were heavy favorites. Both of them won and covered. Historically, the heavy favorited teams in the college football playoffs end up winning and covering. We all remember Oklahoma getting smashed a couple years in a row. Remember Notre Dame getting smashed. There always seems like there's really not 4 teams that are on the same level, right? Normally there's like 2. Last year it was Bama and Georgia. This year we'll see if even anybody's on Georgia's level, but we're not talking about Georgia. Michigan, minus 8.5, I do think is the play here regardless. I think that they are heavy favorites for a reason. I think they're just better. Harbaugh finally seems to have some mojo in Michigan, so I like them to cover 8.5, minus 112 on FanDuel. But I mostly like it. Talking about the value here, right? I'm talking about stats, projections, historical data. None of that stuff matters. All that matters is the math. And the mathematical play here is Michigan minus 8.5. Like I said, most books, every book has it at 9. BetMGM, Betfred, PointsBet, Caesars, DraftKings, WinBet, BetOnline. And that's important. BetOnline's important. Has this at minus 9. Circa has it at minus 9 as well. And then we see BetRivers and Pinnacle price it at 9.5. And funny enough, we actually see BetRivers favor Michigan at 9.5. Now, BetRivers obviously isn't a sharp book that we use to set lines. Still, having them favor Michigan at 9.5 is still a good sign for our Michigan at 8.5 number. So I love this play. I recommend putting a full unit risk to win a unit on this one, which is risk $112 to profit 100. I think that is an awesome play. That is what I would recommend on this one. That is what I locked in on this one. So my official bet for this game is going to be Michigan minus 8.5. In terms of the total, not really a great mathematical play here on the total. Totals kind of range from 59 to 60, but we see BetOnline priced this at 59.5, but they, or 59, excuse me, favoring the over. We see Pinnacle price this at 59.5, favoring the over, but the only books that price this at 59 are juicing it towards the over. So if we could get 59 at like minus 110 odds, that would be a good play. It's not really worth it at minus 115, and everybody knows the math is the most important thing. So in terms of official plays for this betting preview, we're looking at Michigan minus 8.5, minus 112 at FanDuel, and that's it. So if you guys are tailing this, comment and let me know. Other than that, would appreciate a like, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel, all that good stuff. But that's it. So appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one.